Oh, Swegt, you just never learn, do you? Hi guys. It's been a long time since I talked about the Rockstar Games community. Back in 2019, I liked to poke fun at how people were pissed about John Marston's hair in Red Dead Redemption 2. And then I discussed Gaming Damned, his very strange lawsuit with Take-Two Interactive, and Swegta's involvement, or rather just how he threw a tantrum. But before we jump into this, I think we need to understand who exactly Swegta is. Swegta is arguably the biggest bully YouTuber. No, he's not bullying other people. He just likes that stupid, boring fucking game that Rockstar shit out over a decade ago. And when he's not cocksucking bully, he's talking about how Big Bad Rockstar is bad for not making the sequel to it, bitching about Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online. I believe that's called beating a dead horse. Then again, I guess that doesn't fit because they're doing so well despite his little tantrums. But since we went over this arguably flat character, let's dive right into transphobia in GTA 5.
I know this is going to be a highly divisive video for my audience because like many people on YouTube, like many content creators on here, I have an audience that spans all across the political spectrum, and that being the case, I know a lot of you saw the title of this video, clicked on it, and now you're just kind of like, the f***.
Well, congratulations, Swegta. You've got viewers, and those viewers are very diverse. How could you possibly piss off a diverse group of people? Please, do tell.
Politics in my video games? Read.
I feel like that statement's gonna be very ironic later.
Even though we're talking about Grand Theft Auto, a highly political game which consists of social commentary left and right at like all times. But hey, whatever.
Yes, whatever. Why make a video on the supposed transphobia in a video game because my politics? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna let you continue.
Initially, this video was gonna consist of me comparing LGBTQ+ representation in games by Rockstar way back then versus now. You know, just to kind of like highlight how it's maturing and it's actually getting better and better. I don't mean better in the sense that, you know, there's like less, you know, crude jokes. I mean better in the sense that there's depth to a lot of the characters now.
Hate to break it to you, Swegta, but the Ballad of Gay Tony came out over 10 years ago. Rockstar's depth on gay characters improved quite a while ago. This isn't anything recent. Why does this matter?
They're not just like limp-wristed, horny gay guys who are just like, hey. I mean, like, that occasionally pops up in, you know, like, the Ballad of Gay Tony, but even a character like Gay Tony has a bit more to him than being a walking punchline. I wish I could say the same for trans people in GTA 5, but upon doing research for this video, I found that there's really no good representation at all.
Gay Tony was not offensively effeminate. He was a character with depth. The fact that he was gay was just a part of his character. It was not his only trait. Additionally, GTA 5 has really poor trans representation because it has no trans characters. What are you getting at here, Sweg?
It's all bad. And I mean, it's all bad, all of it. Every single, even reference to trans people amounts to little more than like, ha ha ha, man in dress.
Boo-hoo. A controversial game is controversial.
Hello, sir, I mean, madam, whatever. That's an actual line by Michael DeSanta, by the way. Fun fact, at least 2 of the 3 main protagonists in GTA 5 intentionally misgender transgender pedestrians, and I assume that these pedestrians are trans because they're being misgendered, they're being called mid-op, they're being told to take more hormones. You know, it's kind of obvious what's being implied there.
Yeah, Sweg, don't know how to tell you this, but those are drag queens. Those are not transgender women. There's a difference. If anything, claiming that those drag queens in games are trans is more transphobic than what these people are supposedly doing.
Hello, sir. I mean, madam. I mean, whatever. Well, hello, mid-op.
Hey, you need to keep taking your hormones. You might need a few more ops, dog. Almost fooled me, bro. Almost.
You also have stuff like a casual T-slur being used in the game in one of the ads, like, hey, this T-slur is watching you take a shit. Caca poo poo pee pee T-slur, haha.
Why are you offended on behalf of trans people? Why are you the arbiter of what is offensive to them?
The thing that upset me is not just the fact that they made fun of trans people, because I mean, like, you know, Rockstar is an equal offender. They make fun of all aspects of our culture and social life. So really, it should be fair game. right? You know, that should be the case. They make fun of all of us. You know, I'm an atheist. They made fun of atheism. I didn't get on camera and cry cry about it.
No, you're just gonna make us look at your forehead as you bitch and moan about something that's such a non-problem. It's an offensive video game. You can choose to do the offensive thing.
Here's the thing that upset me, though. There's a character in GTA 5 called Peach, who's a stripper, who's a trans woman. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a stripper. I'm cool with strippers. I think they're neat. You know, if you're a stripper, you have my seal of approval. I mean, you don't need it. You know, you care, but rest assured, Swegt thinks you're f***ing neat.
Cool, now get to the point.
The reason I find this to be a harmful stereotype is because oftentimes people associate trans women with being, you know, like, scantily clad, sexual deviants who, you know, engage in, like, sex work for a living. Like, imagine if you're playing GTA 6 and every single black person in the game is nothing more but, like, a 1930s walking stereotype punchline.
Why does it matter if a transgender person is also a sex worker? That is ultimately their decision. Furthermore, it's a fictional character. Why the fuck are we concerned about the feelings of a fictional character? Lastly, comparing transgender people to black people is such a strange stretch, and honestly, I would argue that's intellectually dishonest.
Like, at some point, you would question, like, hey, what's up with this? This is kind of f***ed up. Why would they do this? But if you do it with a really small percentage of the population, which is already struggling to attain civil rights, nobody bats an eye. And it actually kind of took me by surprise how no one, I mean f***ing no one, no matter how progressive their values may be, no matter how much they may even shame me for being like a supposed centrist, no one has even mentioned this in, like, a video or article.
Aren't you just a little hero? The guy who has to protect the LGBTQ, the real savior of the minority groups. Get over yourself.
The closest thing I could find was BuzzFeed talking about this like 8 years ago. And even back then, nobody took it seriously, because it's like, oh, it's BuzzFeed, and they're talking about GTA 5 being transphobic. Oh, lol, SJWs. It's like, no. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. There was actually another article that came out about a year ago, talking about GTA 5 on the next generation of consoles. GTA 5 brings transphobia to the next console generation. I'm not gonna defend the entire article, because there are parts of it where it's like, okay, well, whatever. You know, like a player pulled out a crowbar, beat up a transgender pedestrian. Okay, well, I mean, like, you can do that with any character in the game.
So you acknowledge that BuzzFeed had a flimsy argument. What are you trying to say here?
You know, that's a free-for-all. That's kind of like part of the fun in GTA, is the fact that, like, you know, you can attack anyone at any time for any f***ing reason. I like that. I think that's a strong suit of GTA.
So mindlessly running down NPCs indiscriminately, who likely have families that love them and will miss them when they die, is okay. That's cool. But if a character makes a snide remark about a character that doesn't even actually exist, that's too far? Okay.
When I played Scarface, The World Is Yours, it kind of pissed me off how, like, I was unable to just attack pedestrians left and right. So it's cool to me that I can just boot up GTA and just go, like, on a massacre for no reason. It's cathartic. So I don't have a problem with you being able to attack these characters. I have a problem with how these characters are portrayed in the game.
Remember, guys, Swegt says beating up trans people is okay, but don't you dare disrespect them.
Because really, haha, man in dress is really all they amount to.
So it's better when they amount to only being a hood ornament on your blood-splattered car? That is a very strange message. The rest of his video is more of the same type of bitching, but I wonder why he made this video, other than the fact he had to be the patron saint of the trans community. What if I told you a month ago he was begging for money because he was gonna be homeless? Why was he gonna be homeless though? Well, to keep this video short, I'll give you a little bit of a summary. He thought his 200-something thousand viewers on YouTube made him some kind of celebrity, and he went out and partied during the pandemic. And ultimately, he somehow lost a bunch of his money, and then he was $500 behind on his rent. And then a month passes, and he's virtue signaling the trans community, trying to rile them up and gain as many views as possible to make Rockstar Games accountable, and you know, to line his pockets. There's nothing wrong with asking your viewers for money if it's going to be going back into your content, or it's an emergency. However, if you're irresponsible with the money that you were given by your stream donors and the people who paid for your Patreon, then it's probably on you to fix the problem. When they gave you money before, you didn't know how to handle it. How are you going to know how to handle it later? And then you use politics as a way to pivot your way into more money? God damn, that's dishonest. But I'm sure you see that you're losing subs, and the amount of likes to dislikes on your videos and all the nasty comments has really enlightened you on how fucking dumb this decision of yours was. Hey, if nothing else, next time you have some stupid shit to say, maybe you shouldn't show me that big forehead of yours. I might get a little tempted. By the way, it's your turn. And I'm sure Swegt will eventually see this video because he made a response to me when I talked about him in my Gaming Damned video, and he wasn't too nice to me. Well, I guess payback's a bitch, isn't it? But so on and so forth, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you like what I do, leave a comment, rate, and subscribe. If you want to support me in a more personal way, you can check out the Patreon link and the Teespring link in the description. I've got more content coming down the pipeline. But until then, I'll see you degenerates next time.